Hello. Let me know, anyone, if you can hear me. My lighting situation is a bit of a mess. Give me just a second there. That should be better. Hello. Excuse the mess in back of me. It is I. Hello, hello. We're Monday evening, 6 p.m. How's my sound, y'all? Also realizing that we do not have any music playing in the background. Let me fix that. I changed my entire streaming setup recently, so this is my first stream post setup. So apologies if there's anything that um, is sort of a problem. I'm trying to fix all of this at the same time. Background music. Verbal audio is good. Oh, thank you, Hawkeye. That was my biggest fear. I tested it by myself a couple of days ago, like just recording, and I was like, it sounded fine, but I can never be quite sure. So if it's ever like too low or anything, just let me know. And I should have my. Is that it? That should be it. Okay. Music might be a little loud. I'm not monitoring it just yet. Okay, just a second. All right. Hello, everyone. Hi. Thank you, Prax. Thank you so much for the sub. Yes. Birthday stream. Streaming by myself. Woo! We're going to be playing in a few minutes. We're going to start a solo single-player campaign. Well, let's call it a one-shot for now of Cyberpunk Red, the new single-player book that that just came out. Oh, is. Let me put it a bit further down. Oh wow, no, it's about the same volume that I have. That should be a little better. That should definitely be a little better. Thank you, Lonka. Thank you. Let me all know if music is still a little bit loud. But yeah, like I was saying, single player mode, we're going to try a game today. I've built like a little overlay, little thing for it. I have read the book. I haven't made a character just yet. So we are going to make a character together. I mean, these are the same rules as like regular Cyberpunk character creation. And then we'll jump into the game. I think what we'll do... Thank you, Pope. I think what we'll do is we'll first roll for like what our mission is. And then make a character that would undertake that mission. I feel like because it would just be simpler. I'll also talk about my thoughts on the game as we go through the different beats, see what see how it plays. So far, just reading the book, there's a ton of resources in there that one way or another I would use as a GM in my games. Like it's not something that you, in my opinion, right? It's not something that you would buy just because you want to play by yourself. It's a good resource. There's a lot. I'm a sucker for random tables, and there's like 70 pages of random tables in there. Many of them I feel would only like enhance sort of the mood or the atmosphere of your game. In single player, they sort of oh my god, thank you. In single player, thank you, Brax. That's a whole lot of bits. In single player, they serve as like, again, in my mind, as like what the GM would say, describe, add, whatever, to scenes. We sort of need them in a way. They'll help. This is not a journaling game, by the way, though we will sort of keep track of things and write down notes and everything. But like, there's definitely a few tables in there that I'm like, oh yeah, I would definitely refer to that in my games, like as a GM. Like, oh, what does this alley smell like, or what's like the one thing in there that pops out immediately. And as much as like these are things that, as an experienced GM, I get to do as like it's almost like muscle memory at this point. Having those tables mean that I can also just, you know, at a glance go like, okay, it's gonna be this one this time. Add a little bit of randomness to the whole thing. Yeah. They do poke about Night City weather. They do talk about, like, you should take that DLC and play with it. It's not... Those tables aren't included in the PDF, but it's a free DLC, so you can just go on their website and download it, you know. All right. I have cats upstairs that are screaming. Even though they already have food and everything. So if I ever have to excuse myself for a couple minutes, it's because someone's screaming their head off. Someone who probably has, unfortunately, dementia now. So, which is kind of a problem. I need to look into that a bit more. There's definitely a something that we found just looking at like posts on the internet and everything about like how he acts and all that. I mean, he is rather old. That's the cat we found in back in February. So who was already several years old. Definitely older than 13. So yeah, he might like scream and shit because he suddenly forgot that he just had food. And I'll have to go and take care of that. But otherwise, we're here for a few hours, folks. So let's jump into it. I'm going to rehash an old video that I used before for a stream that never happened. So you can ignore maybe the title and everything, because we are definitely not summer anymore. Let's play that and then head into character creation and everything. Sound shouldn't be too high, but people with headphones, beware. Bah. Sorry. Didn't shift over quickly enough. Yeah, that was a little thing I made in Tailspire a while back to, I was sort of trying to figure out if Tailspire was a good platform to stream on. The answer is not really at the moment, especially not when we have people that need to join and everything. But I did enjoy the little movie I recorded. A bit janky though, as far as like controls go. But you know. Oh no! Where am I? Okay. Gonna put our music back up and voila. All right. So I have the PDF. Whoops! No, I have the PDF closed. Let me grab that up. For half a second, I thought that I had them like some good synthwave music. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Right over there. Right over there. Hope to answer your question. I think if you meant all of them as in all the kitties, no, it's only the one. And we'll see. The other two are fine. All right, okay, PDF is up. Let's go and roll us a mission. So, without going into like how the game works, we'll do that as we play through it. But we'll definitely start with rolling missions. You've got like oracles, kind of like in Iron Sword and everything, where you know, if you have a question, like an open or a closed question, you can roll on a table and that'll determine, oh yes, this or that, or like yes or no, or yes with a twist, no with a twist. So let's start with our mission. I do not have like a die roll or anything. I didn't know at first which platform I would use to make the character on and everything. I'll probably fill up a Roll20 sheet or something. Oh boy, I'm missing a D10 here. All right, but for now we're going to use actual dice. So to everyone, you should actually at the moment on the overlay see me sharing the mission. So let's roll for what it is. I have a 24. 24, so the mission. Extract a target. All right. It's going to be let's see. Extract the target, and then we'll go with one. All right. What's the category? Number 2, corporate high tech. Corpo. Oh, Corpor. Sure. Corpo high tech, and this is we're starting off with clipping a luxury vehicle. All right. And let's start with our first hook. So the way this is going to work is we'll start with a hook. Once we know what it is, we'll make our character and jump into it. But I'm thinking right now, looking at this, I'm really tempted to just go the nomad route and make myself a nomad character. One of the things that they talk about in the single player mode book is how if you decide to, so the game isn't necessarily made to play as a single person. You can control like a whole group of edge runners. You can have like a single person that also happens to call upon allies and everything, or if you want, you can basically multi-class for free. So you could make a character and just say, well, you know what, I'll start with, I don't know, like rank 2 Netrunner, rank 2 Nomad, and then go. Which is different from what you would do in I was gonna say normal, any multiplayer, let's say, game of single play of Cyberpunk. So in this case, kidnapped, 398. Our hook. The edge runners are either kidnapped by an unknown force or one of their friends is kidnapped. The unknown force should be mysterious and far more powerful than the edge runners. Okay, cool. Setting the scene for the next action. Corporate high-tech luxury vehicle. Kidnapped. Hi, Schmelzer. Welcome, welcome. All right. Okay, I think I'm seeing how things are probably going to go. I'm thinking either I am the kidnapped party and we start the game with the character literally in the trunk of a luxury vehicle. and the target is myself, right? I kind of like this idea. That leaves us open to a lot of different, lots of different character builds that we could make, right? Okay, okay. Let's go with companies, corporation. Let's see what this corpo high-tech thing is. Maybe it'll give me a bit more ideas to get us going. 99. Ziggurat, modern comms and data. Okay. So it's a Ziggurat luxury vehicle. What do we know about Ziggurat, folks? 280. You probably hear him scream in the background. Where are you? Bebe, where are you? And he's being brought upstairs. Seemingly appeared out of nowhere in 2030, plan to transform the old fiber optic data term network into a new system and restore cheap and reliable connections across the whole metroplex. Okay. Spread of Night City, other. Okay, okay, so it's a communication company. They were overhauling the whole comms thing. Alright, let's consult a bit more oracles just to see what else can we get. Let's see. Mission. Who hired me? Maybe, like, who's the person behind all of this might also be a good idea to have. Whoops, no, category 5, moderate community. Okay. Being hired by a salaryman low-level exec. A salaryman slash low-level exec. All right. Okay. And then what else do we have? Feel free to chip in if you want, folks. Let's go with, so they have an entire table of verbs, which I might like roll 1 or 2 to get like a better like kind of background to this adventure. 79, gonna go with sell, and 64. Sell and play. What would have been 46? Sell and heal. Sell and play. Trace and heal, trace and play. Kidnap, sell, exec. Ooh, okay, I think I know, we might defer from the original thing of me starting in a trunk, and we'll have this, so, for now we're gonna call them, gonna take a term from Shadowrun, but our Johnson, right, our Mr. Johnson, hired me to clep a luxury ride that belongs to their boss. They think it contains blackmail material regarding maybe the sale or the acquisition of a rival done, let's say, illegally, right? This person, this Mr. J, wants to sabotage the deal because they were originally in on it and they were edged out. How about that? Okay, so who is this person that hired us? Because I would like to have something else than a Mr. Johnson. So let's go with names. 52. All right, we've got a bunch of names. We'll roll a d6. So 1, 2, mask, 3, 4, femme, and 5, 6 non-binary. And we got a 1, so it's an actual Mr. Johnson. Okay. And it is going to be a certain Sven, hired by... Alright, let's just keep it at Sven Johnson. Weird name, I know, but fine. Oh, Sven Johansson. Sven Johansson from Ziggurat. Alright. This being our mission, who are we playing that would accept this sort of mission? Could go with just about anyone. And I am really tempted to make maybe a techie or a nomad. Chat, what do we think? Techie, nomad. I just don't want to do a rocker boy because I'm currently playing one in a game that I'm in right now, so I would rather avoid just recreating the same friggin' character. And I haven't played enough of Cyberpunk Red to have played anything else at the moment. So, no, that's not true. I've played a lawman on Cyberpunk Uncensored for a bit. Praxing, I think a techie would be interesting. Yeah. Alright, let's go and make a techie. So, let's move this here. Okay, we know we're a techie. Start with that. And then we're going to need a character sheet. Do I have like a form fillable one, or do I just go on Roll20? I tried using Demiplane since I found out last night that I could link my Roll20 account with it. Unfortunately, I don't have the books on Demiplane, so I can't really use it. It doesn't have anything. Sheets, do we have sheets fillable? Awesome. All right. Let's open this up. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so we'll make our character. We'll probably take, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes before we dive into our mission. Let's go and look at the character creation. Wow. I haven't made a character in a bit. You know what? Well, we won't bother too much with point buy and everything. I think what we'll do is we'll just go and use method. Do we do fast and dirty? Yeah, that makes sense. Let's just do fast and dirty, and we'll stick with that. So we'll roll a d10 for each stat and see what gives. And what I'll do is I'll have like a little like summary of the character up here on the overlay, so y'all can see what they have. It's just no, it's body. Thank you. body, move, empathy. All right. You please go here. Thank you. Okay, so int. Ooh, 9. Oh yeah, right. It's a so it's a 7 int. All right, I like that. Let's roll for the other ones. 5 for reflex. That is a 6 in reflex. Ooh boy. Then a 1 for dex. That's a 7 for dex. Whew. 3 for tech. That's a 4 in tech. 4 for cool. That's a 6 for cool. Then 5 for will. That's a 6 for will. 6 for luck. That's a 6 in luck. That's a 9. 9 for move is a 5. Is it me or are these stats a little low? 3 for body, that's an 8. Never mind, I didn't say anything. And finally, for empathy, we've got an 8, and 8 is a 4. Is it me or are these stats a little low? Feels like they're a little low. Let's see if I get up to 62 with that. Plus 7 plus 8 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Yeah, I'm actually 3 points under the regular starting character. So here's what we'll do. We'll just bump up tech by 2, because we're a techie, right? And empathy by 1. There you go. So now we're at 62 points. And we'll go check and look at our substats. Let me just put it in on the sheet though here. 6, then 7, then 6, then cool, 6, will, 6, luck, 6, move, 5, and body 8, and empathy 5. Whoa, 16 will, that's a little weird. Alright, so our hit points, we have body and will 8 plus 6, so that's 45 HP. Alright. Well, that's not so bad. Got a humanity of 50. And seriously, wound threshold is half. Yeah, that's fine. It's gonna be like 22. Death save is an 8 because of body. Empathy's fine. Alright, skills. I think we'll do the quick and dirty again. 86 skill points to be distributed among my character's skills. No skill can be higher than a 6, lower than a 2. The following skills must be at least level 2. So that, I think they're already marked on the sheet. No, they are not. Alright, so let's just add all the ones that should start at 2. I don't know why dance already has a +1 in it. And pilot sea vehicles for some reason. Alright, education, stealth, athletics, perception, concentration, street slang, knowledge, home, brawling, evasion, conversation, human perception, persuasion, and first aid. Alright, those are done. We'll do the cultural origin later. Okay, so 4 per skill with 6 points left over. Alright, let's do that. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so it's 4 everywhere. Even the, okay, so let's just put those ones at 4. Boop, boop, boop. I know I'm not sharing the sheet at the moment. It might be a little boring to just see me add numbers. I think what I can do is, well, we'll update the character little box in a second. All right, 4 in all of those, and then 4 in basic tech, cyber tech, basic tech, cyber tech, electronic security. That's a ×2, so we'll only have 2 points in there. Land vehicles, shoulder arms, science, weapons. Wait, I blanked out. Land vehicles, shoulder arms. What did I say? Science and weapons. Where are you, science? There we go. Ooh, what kind of science do we have for our techie? What kind of techie are they? I think I haven't even looked into that. Let's do life path. Should have started with that. All right, life path. So we have number 5, Middle Eastern North African / North African. Thinking about the character at the same time. Personality is shy and secretive. Okay. Motivation 5, knowledge. All right. Seeks knowledge. That's fine. View on people, neutral. Okay, we don't really care about people whatsoever. We're just very indifferent. Number 8 for valued person would be a public figure. Ooh. Values a public figure. Most valuable possession we own. Possession is a letter. We come from a number 8. Megastructure Warren Rat. Ooh. All right. I born and grew up in one of the new megastructures that went up after the 4th Corporate War. A tiny con app, kibble, and scop for food, mostly warm bed. Might have gone to school, might not, which makes me think that the letter might have been a letter of acceptance to let's go with like to a university I cannot afford. So it's all fine and cool. I didn't get in on a grant or anything, but unfortunately, yeah, got accepted but can't afford it. My clothing style will be business wear with a hairstyle that is short and curly. Business wear, short and curly hairstyle. Okay. My affectations are nose rings. Okay, I'm thinking. All right. But I did those. Oh, I flipped on the wrong page. Yeah, sorry, y'all. All right, so we said Warren Rat grew up 9. Childhood environment, Drift Nation. Kind of weird for a Warren Rat to have grown up in a Drift Nation. I'm gonna use a reroll on that just to see. Nomad pack moving from place to place. I would have rather stayed in Night City. It's the family crisis. Scattered to the winds. All right. Okay, so let's see. Warren Rat. Family scattered. What do we do with Drift Nation? Floating offshore city. Oh, maybe that was it. Okay. Maybe that was it. So, background is letter of acceptance to, we'll call it NCU, which I cannot afford. So grew up on an offshore sort of mega structure type of place, like an anarchist commune type of thing, and unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, I got a way out, but unfortunately for me, I am stuck in Night City trying to get into university, which means that my character would probably be at this rate. Maybe I'll put them at like 24 years old, trying to scrape by. How many friends do we have? 3 minus 7. That is 0. I have no friends whatsoever because I am shy and secretive. And I have 0 enemies, probably because I am shy and secretive. And do I have any tragic love affairs? 4 minus 7. That is absolutely none whatsoever. And my life goal at the moment is to save, if possible, anyone else involved in a background, like a lover or family member. I don't really have any anymore. So I think it's just going to be get enough money to get into school. Mind you, I might not need to get into school anymore because I'm probably like a better techie than I would have been before. Learned on the job and not any school type of setting. I have all the practical knowledge, none of theoretical, I guess. 5, what kind of weapons, what kind of techie are we? We are weaponsmith. Okay, so even I work alone, odd I work with someone, odd I do work with someone. It's interesting. Let's see what happens with that. Weaponsmith who hoards. I am a weaponsmith who hoards. And 2. Hello, werewolf. Hi, thank you, welcome. So apparently I'm working with an old friend. I think we're gonna skip that one because we said we didn't have any friends. And we're gonna go with a secret partner with mob and gang connections. Works with secret partner mob. All right. And who are usually my main clients? Local gangers. Main clients. Where do I get my supplies? Yeah, werewolf, this is this is like they said, I'll repeat myself a bit, but you don't have to do just a single character when you play with single player mode, but I want to be like the full on single player mode. Which is hilarious because the title of the stream being I'm playing Cyberpunk with all my friends, and even in game I have no friends. I'm thinking about the character. I might have an idea of who they are back of my mind. Where do I get my supplies? Get supplies from corporate execs. That might be why we have this job from Mr. Johansson from Ziggurat. Might be that they were someone who actually gave me stuff before, and this is like the paying back thing that I need to do. Who's gunning from me? A larger manufacturer trying to bring you down because my mods are a threat. Ooh. I pirate shit. There you go. Alright, so that's it for the techie. Now let's go and, so skills were grabbed. Mind you, I still have 6 points left that I need to put in. But I want to see what we have as far as science skills go. Because a weaponsmith, I guess chemistry might be a good thing. Chemistry, physics might be kind of a good thing to have. I'm like thinking, I think physics. I think I'll go physics for their science thing. And we have synthetic biology would be fun. Yeah, but I'm a weapons, like if I were a cybersmith, Dias, I would have gone with something like that. But I rolled a weaponsmith. Mind you, I do also have cyber tech and all that. You know what? I never went to school, so let's do this. Let's split science into 2 and have synth biology as one, physics as the other. I still have 6 points that I should put in. So I think what I'm gonna do is definitely look. We're playing by ourselves. Let's just up evasion from 4 to 6. Use 2 of our extra skills. We're also going to use 1 of our extra skill to put that in shoulder arms. So we still have 3 more points. And I'm thinking of putting those 3 points in various skills that aren't on that sheet necessarily. I'm thinking... thinking I need a little bit of business, so I guess I'll put my 3 points in there. So I have like a base 10 in business. Why did that not count? Sheet, you are so strange. It might be a sheet that I made myself. And didn't realize that all of the fields are kind of messed up. We'll see. All right, 11, 11, 9, 9, 11, 13. Got a 13 in evasion, so that's kind of good. 11 in shoulder arms. 10 in persuasion. Oh, well, I guess my empathy will know. We'll know about empathy later. And then most of my tech skills, I have a 10 in there. So it's sort of a base 10-ish character, I guess, that I have all over the place. Okay. Biological weapons, but perhaps you don't want to get that way. I don't know yet. Most of this character is being rolled randomly. So I think I've got a name. I'm going to go with her and... Ah, shit. How did I... Yeah, it's Safia like this, I think. I believe I'm rehashing a character name of a character I used before in a different game. Oh, great. Is that how it's spelled again? Well, it's going to be spelled like that for me. Fuck it. Alright, so Safia techie. I should actually change. It's on the overlay right now. Give me our character name. All right, let's go she, her. Cool. So we've got our mission. We need to collect a luxury right that belongs to Sven's boss, contains blackmail material. Let's equip ourselves and then jump into it. Those are all the skills. Do we have? I thought there was some. Ah, there we go. Okay, tech, weapons, armor, stuff like that. Cool, cool, cool. Yes. Sorry, I'm reading at the same time. I've got a shotgun with basic shotgun shells. Light armor jack. So as far as combat goes in this version, you can basically use the regular combat rules that you have in Cyberpunk, though I do like the there's a I can say an alternate rule. It's not an alternate rule, but it's more like a type of combat called a fast and dirty combat, which I'll use for our game, which is a little bit more narrativist in how it's played out. It reminded me more of games like Starforged, for instance. Though we are going to use, I'm adding a couple of house rules because there's a few things that I was reading in the book that I was like, I wish there were a little bit more. So basically combat, the fast and dirty combat in the game goes on like 6 steps. You look at like who you're fighting against, and then when combat is about to begin, everyone makes a tactics check, the winner of which gets to roll one more time during combat. And then depending on like certain things you have on your sheet, you get to have more than one attack. Then you tally up like how many attacks you have. You roll all of your attack rolls. The enemies all roll their attack rolls, and then you compare best with best, second best with second best, and blah blah blah. Like they're not in order, right? Hi Shinobi, welcome. And then normally the one who rolled the most times, the highest, wins. And that's sort of a problem that I found looking at those rules, is that if you're playing by yourself and you are fighting more than one character, one of the things that does happen is if you run out of attacks, every other attack that they make automatically counts as a success. And because it ends combat immediately, at least the way it's written, it makes it so that if you play by yourself, you almost cannot ever win any combat whatsoever. Which is sort of strange, I feel. Because while, yes, you could have a character that's built for combat that gets to roll multiple times, if at least you get to roll multiple times and you roll bad, then that's on you, right? Those are things that happen. But if you have a character who happens to roll, let's say, 3 times in the whole combat, but that the enemies, because there's 3 of them, and they get to roll twice each, for instance, they automatically win. Regardless of what happens, they're going to win, right? And that feels a little meh. And then you also have a rule about, you know, enemy morale, where you can roll to see if they keep fighting or they end the fight. But then what's the point of using quick and dirty fighting rules if the fight ends anyway? So I'm tweaking it, in which what we're going to do when we get to combat is we start by establishing a win state. What do we need to end combat. Like, we need to, which is normally the thing that triggers the morale. So it could be like, we're fighting against three mooks. If we down 2 of them, right? If the majority goes down, then we win. And so then every turn that we haven't achieved that win state, we're gonna roll for every opponent that we've wounded. We're gonna roll to see if they stay or if they leave. And then there's a way for us to win. Otherwise, if we fail our round, basically what would be like the trigger of the like end combat, we're gonna have it go with, well, I need to sacrifice a resource. There's like this rule in the investigation beats in the game where they're like, oh yeah, but you could win at a cost, right? You could, you fail, but then you fail forward in that, oh, if you can sacrifice a resource, then you can keep going. And in this case, I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense considering, for instance, what if I have a grenade? Like, if I use the actual full rules for combat, chances are I'm gonna win more than they are. Especially if there's like cover and everything. Like, it's different. So what we're gonna do is basically every time we get into a fight and we do not succeed, especially since I'm looking at Safia right now and she's not really the like combat type of character. So if it gets to that, she might have to actually sacrifice a lot of resources to get through a combat, which would make sense because then it, furthers the story that, oh, well, then I need to do more missions so I can get more eddies, so I can get my stuff, which I am also sacrificing to be able to keep on living, right? And you have this sort of almost like Sisyphean life, which I feel is very on par for what Cyberpunk is. But we'll get back to that in a second. Let's just finish outfitting our techie. So we've got a shotgun, we've got 100 normal shells, we've got a flashbang grenade. Only one. Speaking of grenade and things that we can sacrifice to keep playing. And then, what is my outfit? Tech outfit. All right, so what do we have? We have an agent. Awesome. We have an agent. We also have an anti-smog breathing mask. Cool. Cool. A disposable cell phone. All right. Let's note that. We've got duct tape. 5 rolls, I guess. We do have a flashlight. We have road flares. Most importantly, we have a tech bag. Eight generic chic bottoms and 10 tops. I'll get back to that because we rolled that we have like business wear type of thing. So I might get like a few pieces of like trade in the generic chic for some business stuff. All right, and then we get into cyberware. Oh, I thought we had cyberware built into the outfit, but it doesn't seem like it. Next step, your outfit. I've always like built the characters with like everything. Having had like the 2500 stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, got it. Time to score some cyberware. I've got Not a whole lot of things. Cyber Eye, Micro Optics, Skin Watch, and Tool Hand. Right, let's fix that up. Do they say like Cyber Eyes? Is it? It's only the one Cyber Eye. Okay. Odd. Sorry. Even left, odd right. It's a 3, so it's the right Cyber Eye with Micro Optics. Skin Watch, Tool Hand. Tool Hand, left or right? It's gonna be on our right side again. Tool Hand, so I guess the Skin Watch is gonna be on the other side. And that is it. 12 humanity lost, -2 empathy. Ouch. So we are at 38 humanity out of 50. That hurts. It also means that we are flirting with cyberpsychosis. Yay! We'll look into that later. Okay, so what do we have? What's Tool Hand? Fingers contain screwdrivers, wrench, small drill, other tools. Can be installed as only piece of cyberware in a meat arm. Oh. But do I have the cyber arm? No. It's just the Tool Hand. Okay. And that's a 3? Okay, sure. So then cyber optic. Yes, and what does the micro optic does? 400 times magnification. Nice. And it's 3 option slots, so that's 1 down, 2 to go. All right, and Skin Watch is... Oh, it's a fashion wear thing. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got our fashion wear. Not enough to give us our boosts. We're fine with that. We are fine with that. All right, and what we'll do is we'll assume that we're still freaking broke, and that our lifestyle and housing is basically, let's do kibbles and cube hotel. This is a very type of living situation. And that rings us for 500 for 600 EBPs a month. Like it. All right. And let's look at what our techie gets for their life paths, and then bam, we are jumping into our mission. No, wait, we need to check for cyberpsychosis too. Actually, let's see. Empathy 3 or greater. Okay, no, we don't have any dissociative disorder yet. Okay. So it's at 2. I keep thinking it's 3. I don't know why. Alright, so our ability is called Maker, and it's broken down into a bunch of smaller things. Okay. Never played a techie before, so let's see. We can improve, fix, modify, make, invent new items using Maker. Whenever I increase my Maker rank by 1, I gain 1 rank in 2 different Maker specialties of my choice. We start at rank 4, so we have a breadth of choices. Your familiarity, so field expertise, familiarity with technology makes you a valuable asset on the job, especially when something breaks down at just the wrong moment. I add my rank to the specialty to any basic tech, cyber tech, electronics, weapons tech, lens. Okay, anything that has the word tech in there. That I make for non-maker specialty purposes. Additionally, as long as I have at least 1 rank in this specialty, instead of attempting a lengthy full repair, I can instead elect to temporarily repair the target, same DV, to perfect condition as an action. You add my rank in field expertise to this check. The jury rigging holds for 10 minutes for each rank we have in this specialty. I think we'll have at least 2 points in there for sure. Okay, so I think this is something that we should write down somewhere in here. Come here, you. Okay, so roll abilities. We have field expertise. Then we have, what's the other one? Upgrade expertise. Improves an item in one of the following ways. That's kind of like the craftsman from Witcher. Lower the humanity loss on non-Borgware cyberware by 1d6 if its typical humanity loss would be 2d6 or greater. Ugh. Increase the number of slots of a type. I could have probably played around with my eye. We'll see after we're done our mission. Number of slots of a type an item has, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. Simplify the item, having the time it takes to make any future full repair. Non-concealable becomes... granted, typically non-concealable one-handed weapon able to be concealed. Increase an average quality weapon to an excellent quality weapon. Grant a weapon attachment slot to an exotic weapon. Allow a blah, 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 blah. How does it work? We roll tech, plus the tech skill that the item is typically repaired with. Plus my rank in the specialty, plus an d10. Okay, so we'll definitely put a few points in there. Because it's useful. Fabrication allows me to invent an item or create an item that I've invented. And then the other one is the MacGyver one. Seeing as how we're playing by ourselves, MacGyver might be interesting. Okay, so we have 4 ranks. So every time we leveled up 1 rank, we could put 1 point. So that would be rank 1. Then I guess that would be rank 2. That would be rank 3. And I guess that would be rank 4. Let's go with this. 3, 3, 1, 1. Not the greatest at inventing for now, but because, you know, never went to school, never did anything. We have a more hands-on approach to crafting, so that would be where we're at. Field expertise and all of that. And fuck, I saved over my form fillable sheet, so now it's got everything in. Ah, crap. Oh, well. Okay. This is our mission. So this is our character. This is our mission. We've got everything that we needed. Let's get going. Let's see. So... beat number 1. We've got our hook. We got our call. We'll say Mr. Johnson called me on the phone, on my disposable cell phone. Safia goes, "Morning. Hello, Safia. This is Sven Johansson from Ziggurat. We spoke a few weeks ago. I sent you a box of Model 3. I guess. What would it be? Model 3? Let's... Give me one of those random tables. What do we have for, like, random gizmos and doodads? Night City hotspots, factions. No, Places, names, handles, sure, moods. Nah. Fashion cable flavor, advertisements. Oh, that's cute. Street rat corpse item, edge runner corpse, corporate corpse. Lots of looting tables. That's kind of cool. Those are plot twists, random encounters. Yeah, 70 pages of random tables is absolutely fun. Okay, those are. All right, so we'll say these were Model 3 smart gun interfaces, basically. And he goes, you remember how these were, an advance on your services. Well, I now have need of your services. Safia goes, well, I guess I don't have any other choice, right? What are these smart gun interfaces gonna cost me, Mr. Johansson? Well, you see, long story short, deal that I was supposed to be part of was made without my consent, or is about to be made without my consent, and I would rather make it so that if I am not one of the if my signature is not at the bottom of these papers, that this deal goes south. And I have need of someone with your abilities. I need you to go into the Ziggurat office's parking garage, and I want to make sure that the car that my boss is going to drive to the place. Let's instead of going boss and place, let's go with names. Who's this person? Chat, you have until I find the random table to give me a name. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get one of those. XX. Too bad. Found it. Oh, shit. My dice. Number 9. Theresa Valentino. Alright. Oh, wait. Jeremy Hawk. Alright. I'll prioritize chat. So we know that the car belongs to Jeremy Hawk. And he goes, Mr. Hawk prepped his entire presentation for the final part of the negotiation. It's all in a secure briefcase that he's left in a locked compartment in his car. I want you to go in and collect the entire vehicle. Because if only the briefcase is missing, then Mr. Hawk might be might suspect something. Get the whole car. Bring it to... Where do we bring it? Locations in Night City. Let's go with... Let's go with location. Aha! Specific location. Let's see. 5. He wants me to bring it to a bodega. Okay. A bodega in We have a Night City, Night City districts. There we go. A bodega in 7 Watson development. Bring it to the bodega at the corner of 9th and let's go with North. North Hill. The corner of 9th and North Hill in Watson. The snack selection will be awesome. Yeah, let's I think we can even bodega has, because there's a table for that. There's a table for that. Where is it? Corpse loot things, fashion, fireware, kibbles flavor, Tritty Fizz flavor. Yeah, like that bodega is known for XXL snacks. I think the bodega will call it, is known locally as Big Munch. So we gotta bring it to Big Munch at the corner of 9th and North Hill in Watson. Sapphire goes. Alright, I just need to know, when do you want me to do it? Johansson says, this needs to be done tonight. Because tomorrow, 6 a.m., the car needs to be gone. And so we're gonna start ourselves a clock. Clip the car. Let's assume that it's 10 at night. So we've got 8 hours total to make sure that the car is no longer there. Let's go with that, and then we'll see what happens, right? We've got 8 hours to get this car out of there. Let's go back to missions and check what we do. Where do we go first? Oh, payment. We'll do payment later. I mean, technically this was an advanced, so, you know. What can we do, right? I have to do it pro bono, at least, for now. So I think the first thing that Safia would do, I don't have a whole lot of things with, right? But if I'm going to have to clip a car, I think I should make sure that I have what I need to break into and hotwire that thing. And I feel like I should check in my skills very quickly. I think it's like security tech, right? No, pick lock is what we need. And we sort of do not know anything about lock picking. We're good at a little bit of lock picking. But we do have electronics and security tech, so I think Safia, the first thing she would do is to look up this Jeremy Hawk. Who is he? What does he drive? Then we'll know what kind of car we need to hijack. So I think the hook would have been to well, anyway. Let's go with like research. And research, and we'll start with, I guess, make our research check, right? That's what we should do. I don't think this for now. All right, first roll of the game. Let's look up who this person is. I guess in this case, we're gonna go with some good old library search. The +7. Where's my table with the basic DVs again? Just so I don't mess up things and I keep... There you go, okay. 129. Just note that down, because I don't have it in I think this would be like a difficult check in DV15. I feel like Mr. Hawk, especially if they are the type to handle business dealings and everything, they might want to keep their like as much professional information as possible secret. So, ooh, that's a 2. 2 plus 7, that is a 9. So that's a complete failure. So I think what'll happen is let's look at that would be an investigation. I feel like we should have used investigation in this case. Investigation. No, that's a social challenge. There you go. So our goal is to get more info on Mr. Hawk. Number of checks, we'll do a simple, so that's 3 skill checks. We failed our first one. I think the second check would probably be to try to see if we can find out this ziggurat. Oh my god, all the cats are bitching. This ziggurat parking lot. They have an office here in Night City. Seeing how they, like, where they sort of situate themselves often enough, I think it might be like in Little Europe. So we'll have them in, yeah, like just northeast of the hot zone. And that means there's like a security thing on the maps. Fuck, where's my map? Oh, almost had it. Westbrook, no. Haywood Industrial. No. The Night City rebuilding, that's fine. Yeah, I think it would be in the, like, rebuilding urban center, right? Little Europe counts as rebuilding urban zone. Okay. So it being a rebuild urban zone, I think there's old big brick buildings, tall skyscrapers. Whoa, God. With a threat rating of corporate moderate. So I think finding the parking lot would probably be just a moderate roll instead of a hard one. So we'll go with like an everyday, so a 13. And I think this would just be a, let's go with local expert. Do I know the place? Does Safia know the place? That's a 9 for a 20. So the second roll is a success. So right now I've got 1 success, 1 failure. And then I think I'll narrate once I have like everything done in there. And then my third check, Okay, so she knows where that is. She's not a net runner. And she doesn't know anyone, unfortunately. So I think the next step would just be to go in, knowing where this is. We're gonna go in there and we're going to sneak around and try to find the car. It belongs to Jeremy Hawk. I guess Johansson... Part of that check would be Safia calling back Johansson and being like, hey, I got a bit more info on like what the car is. And he gave us a like a make and model, right? We got a make and model for it. Let me open Black Chrome and just look at a vehicle real quick. Sure, we have something that looks moderately interesting. I don't think a Quadra Thunder X might be a bit too much. I think we could do with a... Hey, single player, do you have car models in there? That would be interesting. Things fashion wear, no. Generating missions and plots, no. Those are my hooks and everything else. That's sad. We don't have a table for vehicles. I wish we did. All right, then in that case, go in our night market and just get like a, I think like not a luxury, like a luxury model, but I think this person would probably drive some sort of like right beneath that luxury thing. Armor, gear, styles and housing. Strange, why do I not have vehicles in the night markets? I guess it just doesn't exist there. Armor, outfit, weapons, complete listing of all. Nope. Okay, well, let's look at our nomad table then. It's gonna be simpler that way. 68. Please, nomad. Do I have... Do I not have the car? I have to check their friggin' roll thing. Where is it? Nomad. Ah, 189. Okay. Yeah, Pope. I just wish that we had the vehicles, like at least in the night market, that there was just a place that goes like, oh, by the way, you can see vehicles over there. I guess it's gonna be a compact ground car, just a regular Thornton. Let's go with like a Thornton R350. Right. Thornton R350. We need a night marketing encyclopedia of all gear. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're going to... That's our last role for our investigation, is to look up... trying to find this specific... this specific car in there. So... do we go... We're gonna do stealth for this, because she doesn't want to be seen. Definitely. And this is going to be another DV17, if only because when you think about it, we're in a parking garage of a corp where they have their office. So let's put it at like a professional role. And that is a 4 plus stealth plus 11. That's a 15. So I've got 2 failures and 1 success. Ooh, that doesn't bode well. What happens if we fail? So if we fail enough check, we don't uncover the clues needed to directly proceed to the next beat of the mission. Instead, consider having them fail forward. Yeah. Okay, so we can be could be an encounter, resource drain, extended check. I think what we're gonna do is this is going to take place in the parking garage because she knows where it is, but she couldn't find the car. So let's bring in some like twist at the end of that scene, and then we'll go with that. Yeah, that would be a cliffhanger. 65. A fist fight. Interesting. Interesting. In this cliffhanger, the edge runners, or myself, meets the opposition hand-to-hand combat. This doesn't have to be an actual fist fight. Can be a contest with physical weaponless combat takes place. Wrestling, kung fu, fisticuffs. The rules of combat are often ritualized in some way. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, in this case, I think I know what'll happen. I'm just going to take a quick break because I have a cat that's been nipping at my ankles this whole time. So I'm just going to go and take care of that, and I will be right back. I'm sorry about that. I'm back. There we go. Sorry about that. So here's what will have happen. Safia went to check the parking garage and was seen / caught by a security guard. So Safia's down in the parking garage. We get to now the narrative part of the scene. She's, you know, she dressed in like her darkest colored outfit, which I think is just going to be this like maybe like a dark brown, almost like maroon leather jacket with, you know, the of course Cyberpunk 2077 little circles on there, with a bit of the high like collar, but it doesn't have the LEDs in it or anything because she doesn't have money for those. And she's got basically just like black leggings with a like a black t-shirt that she sort of like tied up in a knot because it was a little too loose for her. So she just like tied it up on the side there. She has a small messenger bag with some of her tools in it. She brought... Let's go with that. And that's why it's a fist fight. She did not bring the shotgun with her. She's got the flashbang, but that's it. And she's walking around the garage, you know, crouched low, trying to avoid the security cameras. There's not a whole lot of them. And the reason why is the Ziggurats office they sort of took over a building that was semi-falling into disrepair because of the bombs. Basically when the towers blew up, like part of the debris fell, knocked the I guess it could be, you know, we're looking at old corporate plaza, so it might have been like a petrochem, like the petrochem offices, and the rubble from that then fell onto the parking garage, and so, you know, petrochem fucked off. Ziggurat moved in, got like a couple of the floors of that building, and so they have access to the garage. The garage, no one wants to use it because it's a bit of a security risk, so there's not a whole lot of cameras in there. Partly because the infrastructure sucks, and for a company that, you know, is technically the world leader in fiber optic and you know, new communications, they haven't rewired most of this parking garage. So Safia, you know, crouched low, walking around with her flashlight, trying to find like the license plate of first of all, trying to just identify all of the Thorntons there are in the garage. And I think we'll say, for the purposes of this, that there are I'll go with like a D3. One. Okay, there's only one. But the moment she finds it, she goes, oh, okay, got it. And she clicks off the flashlight. And upon hearing the click, there's like a couple footsteps that echo from back of her. And the light of like the cone of another flashlight like swipes in and basically highlights her, and there's a voice that goes, "Hey, you! The fuck you think you're doing here?" And Safia hears like the footsteps pick up, the jiggling of keys, and the sort of huffing and puffing of a security guard who definitely is not in shape to run more than 3 steps. She's unarmed, but as she turns around and looks at the guy, internally she goes, ah, shit. He saw him. I can't go back. I can't. She like rummages in her bag and goes, fuck, I didn't bring anything. And instead of trying to avoid the guard by sneaking off, or even to try to talk things out, because, you know, Shine's secretive, she sort of kind of freezes and realizes at the last moment that, fuck, she's gonna have to take him on. She can't afford to be carried away now in our little clock, right? This is like beat 1 out of, technically, you know, out of 8. Right? And we've already somewhat failed it. She doesn't know these things. These are just mechanical things for us. But she freezes for a moment. And the guy, seeing how she's not armed, and I figure, now that I think of it, that she's like a petite type of girl, woman. Safia's probably like tops 120 pounds. 5'2", 5'3", something like that. And the guard that we now see, who's, you know, this sort of like barrel-chested older man, way past retirement, but retirement is a notion that doesn't exist in 2045 anymore. So he's probably like 70. Dude used to be in shape maybe way back when. He's got like a couple of cyberware. Probably the reason he has this shape is he still has like some like cyber muscle. I don't remember the name for the exact implant. But even then, that's like covered by like layers upon layers of body fat. And he tries to bear hug her, basically, and lift her up. And this is where we go into combat. So our first step, I wish I had music other than what's playing at the moment, but that's what we have. Combat with a very smooth lo-fi soundtrack. Let's go. What's our win state? So like I said before, we're using like these like little house rules that I made. So what's the win state? In this case, the win state is he's, best case scenario, he's knocked out. I think that's what it's going to be. Our win state is knocking the guy out. Let's go with that. Now we need to check who among our combatants have certain things. So what we'll do is we'll go into the basic mooks and grunts from the basic book, right? And let's just use like the bodyguard, right? For this person's stats and stuff. So the first step in combat, and we're using the quick and dirty combat from single player. So we need to check if anyone here is hardened. We need to check who among us is hard. And it's Safia versus nameless guard. Do either of us have a reflex of 8 and an evasion skill of 6 or higher? In my case, I do not. And as far as this guard is concerned, neither does he. So that's one criteria off. Is that a euphemism for something? I mean, when I read the book, werewolf and I saw that like the tag for this is know who's hardened, I was like, no, that's it. I am never going to use that word, and I'm always going to say hard. So it's a hedge runner is hard when they meet the following criteria. In general, we mark when NPCs are hardened in their stat blocks, but let's be fair. I don't think they are on those stat blocks. At least not in the main book. So what else do we have as a criteria to be hardened? Ability to attack with a stat and skill and mod of 15 or higher. Safia certainly doesn't. Not unarmed, that's for sure. She's got a plus 11 unarmed. And he has a plus 11 unarmed. So neither of us do have that. A will plus body of 16 or greater. I don't. He doesn't. Basically, hardened, by the way, is essentially saying that you are min-maxed for combat, if you prefer. Is either of us a solo with a rank 4 or higher? No. Do any of us have auto-fire or martial arts at 6 or higher? He doesn't know any martial arts, so we're fine with that. A dex of 8 combined with a move of 8. I don't have either. He doesn't have either. And do any of us own a weapon with a value of luxury or higher? He has... I don't think he's going to have like the shotgun with him. I think he's going to have a very heavy pistol and then a regular quality, like normal, like medium melee weapon, right? So that's costly, and then the very heavy pistol is premium. None of us have like fancy... by the way, a luxury weapon is by default anything that's... I mean... it's got to be like an exotic weapon thing. Because it needs to be like 5,000 eddies or more. So it's an exotic weapon or like some very pimped out weapon that we do not have here because we are broke and we're a fake student who eats kibble and lives in a cube. So neither of us are hardened. Then that means that both of us only get to make one attack roll during the combat. However, we both make a tactics check, and the winner of which gets to have an extra attack. Normally it's one edge runner on one side and one mook on the other. In this case, there's only two of us, right? So, does he have any tactics? None. And tactics are based on... education? No. Yes, education. Okay. So it's an int roll for him, and it's an int roll for me. He's got an int of 3. I'm rolling for him. He's got a 1. Of course, that's, you know, the reverse fumbles, but we have different rules for that. I have a 6, so I have a 13, so I succeed. In the case of the quick and dirty combat, in the case of attack rolls, if someone fumbles, they lose all of their extra attacks that they could have had. So none of us have speed wear. I won the tactics check, and I am here. So that's 2 for me, 1 for him, and that's it. So I get to roll twice. He's gonna roll once. Let me grab... Okay, I got Witcher dice for me and Cyberpunk D10 for him. I rolled a 7 and a 9. Oh my god, he rolled a 1. Okay, so normally we don't do like the reverse fumbles. He just would not get to have any extra rolls, but he doesn't have any extra rolls anyway. And he was trying to grab Safia, so we'll go with brawling. That's a 12 for him. And in my case, I think Safia just goes in, like, froze for a second. And the first roll is going to be dodge, and the second is going to be the attack. And so because we're comparing highest to highest, my 9 has to go for dodge. So that means that evasion, she's got a 22 against a 12. And on the brawl attack, it goes in automatically. She's got an 18 out of against a 0, basically. So I need to check. NPCs are on page 412. I just need to go back to combat because I completely forgot. What's unarmed damage again? I know it's based off of our skills, stats, body, unless I'm mistaking, and I am thinking of Witcher. Yeah, no, it's based on my body. Okay, what's my body? Oh yeah, I have an 8. So it's 3d6 damage. 3d6 damage, and but they have full armor. Because, well, I suck at fighting, and so they get to soak everything. So let me roll those 3d6. 5, 4, 3, so that's a 12. They have Kevlar, so they would have taken 5 points of damage. Let's go back in research, which we failed, but so he took 5 out of 35, and his SP is now 6. I'm reading right. You wouldn't guess. I'm reading right now. I didn't realize Toussaint was this seedy. Yeah, I guess the video games make Toussaint feel a lot more like a fairy tale type of place. It's more like Versailles, France, in my opinion. Of like, it looks regal at a glance, but it's so not that. So he failed his roll. Going back to our little rules for combat, we do not have achieved win state, but we do get to roll morale for our wounded opponents. And I guess he's a we'll go with trained combatant. I said the person, came out of retirement, blah blah blah, or never retired, so he's got like years of experience, and he's just trying to get this like tiny woman out of the parking garage. I don't think he's gonna stop because she punched him in the nose. But that's a 10, so he gets to keep fighting. So then we would go on to our next round, which, because technically that's the thing, right? Normally I would have won the combat immediately with quick and dirty combat, and I feel like this is a little short. Let's do another round. So Safia froze for a moment. He went to grab her. She ducked low and basically just punched him in the gut. It didn't do much, but it certainly triggered something in him that was like, oh, she's fighting back. I'm allowed to fight back then. And he'll draw his baton and basically just go for a hit on her. Whereas Safia is just going to, now that she got back up a bit from the punch, she's going to try and like haymaker his like a wide hook into his temple to try to just knock him out immediately. And it's going to be both her checks. All right, he's got a 6, I got a 9 and a 7. So his 6 plus 11 in brawling, that's a 17. Let me just note it here. 17 versus I have Uh, 9 plus... Yeah, but my brawl is not that great, though. Oh yeah, I got an 11. So it's 17 against 20. I think I'm gonna do Safia versus him. And then the next one would be 18 versus nothing. Which means that I get to roll damage twice. That's an 8. 8 minus 6, that's 2. Great, that's not a whole lot. And then the next one is 12. 12 minus 5, that's a 7. He is taking a beating. And let me just roll to see. 6. Yeah, end the fight. So see, using these rules, I could have taken a bit more damage. I ended up not because I rolled higher, and also this is just like a single person. But I feel like there was a bit more danger than going like, oh no, I won immediately. Versus if that guy had succeeded on his tactics check compared to me, then immediately I would have almost, like, I would have gotten at least one roll, right? But if I failed that roll, then I failed the fight immediately. And if I succeed, then it's like a 50-50. I might even fail. But in this case, what'll happen is, so he got the baton out, and he went to swing, and with one arm, Safia, like, grabs his wrist, the one that holds the baton, and with like a speed and a strength that this combat sequence with this music is sort of weird, but basically puts like her other hand right under his elbow and will like throw him down on the ground, like ippon him down on the ground, which is normally something you would do with martial arts, but like she did it by mistake, almost like surprising herself. And as he falls down, breaks his nose on the pavement, he gets back up and goes, "I'm calling the cops!" And he runs out, because seriously, this old, I don't know, 70-year-old person did not think that this would turn out this way. But that was the consequence of our failed research check. So now we are starting a new beat, I guess. Ah, crud. Oh, don't do that. Sorry, I didn't want to blind everyone, so I put in a like a bigger frame on my Fig Jam, just because I figured like a white background would probably not be cool for all of us, least of which me. All right, so beat number 2. Let's see what happens now. Let's go here, get our single player. So this did not end well for her. Okay, so we need to check if it's a cliffhanger or a development. If it comes even, it's a development. All right, use the oracle and the lists and tables to fill in any blanks. From here, keep alternating between cliffhanger and development, blah, 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 until we get to the climax. So, it's our little development here. 28. Hazardous quest, 403. Forced to embark on a journey of hazardous proportions to find, destroy, recover something. The way will be long and arduous with obstacles everywhere. The daily environmental condition in the hazard could be any combat or attacks will be of a minor nature, unrelated position. Yeah, okay. Oh, I think that's going to be our car chase. I feel like Safia, once this is done, realizes there's not a whole lot of time. I need to get out of here quickly. Car is here. Tries the door. Door's locked. Of course it's locked. I didn't have time to get the... Shit, I did not have time to get the lockpicks because I came here to look for the car. She looks around, doesn't really find anything that could break, like a window with... but she's got a tech hand. It won't hurt that much. And with the tech hand, just punches through the glass of the driver's side window. The car alarm goes off. Punches through window. Car alarm goes off. She jumps in and just starts driving away at like breakneck speed. She's not the greatest at driving. We have a couple of points, but it's not the highest. And our hazardous quest will be to drive through the streets of Night City as it starts raining. In fact, I think I have the weather. Night City weather. Yeah. Let's see what we have. Let's say we're playing in September, right? It's like 60 degrees outside, and there's some strange weather going. Number 7. Inversion smog. What the fuck is inversion smog? Despite the switchover from gasoline to chew to, intense smog as thick as pea soup remains a problem in Night City due to lax regulations, regular fires, and industrial toxins spilling everywhere. Treat anyone who spends more than 1 minute in an inversion without nasal fill. Oh, I have an anti-smog breathing mask. So, and GMs can at their discretion apply a -4 penalty to appropriate skill checks, perception, and stuff like that. Oh yeah, so she puts the car in reverse, drives out of the parking garage, and the moment she hits the streets, these like yellowish brown clouds of smog begin to fill the streets. Visibility is almost like nil outside, with the window broken and the smog coming in. She puts on her breathing mask and just, you know, pedal to the metal, drives forward. And that's when she hears the sounds of... She doesn't see them, right? She can't really see the lights in back of her, but she hears the sirens of like the NCPD coming in, right? And she's going to try to avoid them. They also have a -4. I also have a -4, so we'll just cancel these out and just go with another. I think it's going to be another like DC 70, because we're trying to escape from the NCPD, and I feel like the NCPD are professionals at chasing people down with their cars, right? So she's got a +10. I need to roll a 7 or higher. That's an 8. Safia adjusts the rear view mirror, and for a split second she notices like the car. There's only one patrol car. She's like, oh great, there's smug everywhere. I kind of know more or less where I am, because the university, right, the one that didn't accept me, the campus is nearby. Where's my map? Sorry, it's gonna be a second. Come here, Night City. Yeah, I think University District is like just south of here. Yeah. It's she knows where she's going, so she's gonna drive south to University. She knows that Watson is up north, but it's you cross the Coronado Bay Bridge. It's a straight line into Watson. There's no way the NCPD can't just like call someone to blockade the other side. So she's gonna lose them in University, and then probably just like drive back around, maybe like drive south to Pacifica, and then do like the whole like the long way around to go up north. As she's driving, you know, she gets this rush of adrenaline of like, whoa, I did it. Like, I got into trouble. I did it. It's like, that's fucking amazing. Next time, though, note to self, I gotta have the tools. I gotta shop around for lockpicks. And as she thinks about the tools, she just looks, like, glances at the broken window next to her and thinks, ah, fuck. I mean, it looks like a carjacking, right? I don't think Sven's gonna be angry at the fact that I had to break the window. I mean, if anything, it just looks like it's been done by just about like anyone, like not a professional thief or anything. And let's just make a note of that, of Safia. Do I keep... Yeah. I keep inverting the letters. Safia thinks she can pass the broken window off as the work of a rando carjacker. And if anything, you know, that's what I'll tell Sven when I get there. So I'm driving through University, and technically we would move on to our next beat. But I think driving into University, as we drive through, like, we approach the campus, right, I feel like it's a good place to add a cliffhanger. So let's go and see what happens when I get there, right? 41. A contest. Contest, page 400. A contest is some type of ritualized confrontation in which one side wins and one side loses. A contest can involve riddles, feats, and fits marrying cleverness, and a one-on-one competition. May not use a game master fiat to allow the NPC to win a contest. This should come down to role-play and the rules. I think I know what's gonna happen. Alright. The beat ends with Safia running into an actual car race, like, between rich students. So, like, she turns on one street and then immediately gets, like, her car gets, like, hit a bit, like, on the side, someone trying to drive her off the road, and she realizes there's, like, 6 of these cars just driving past. And let's call that new one beat number 3. Caught in a race. Sure. At this point, she doesn't really know who's doing what. She wants to leave, but the thing is these, like, 6 other vehicles sort of have her, like, almost boxed in type thing. She's not a participant in any of this. She's just stuck in there. So I think what we'll do is we'll roll for like a couple of things here. Let's start with a question to the Oracle. Should, because they think that she's part of the race, should Safia try and finish the race, even though it's going to cost her time to in her job, right? 53. I guess the probabilities would have been like unlikely. No, she should not, and it should come with a complication. All right. Safia doesn't think she should take part of that race, but it's complicated because we'll keep it with that. They've got her boxed in. She passes by a broken billboard that's strobing erratically. Outside, through like the window, she hears like the crackling of that malfunctioning sign, right? And it smells of that fucking smog thing, but like on top of it, it's just smells of like chew of burning rubber. It's a problem, right? It's definitely a problem. She's got the mask on. The other ones have their windows up, of course. But clearly they don't know where they're going. And I think we're going to put that billboard into play and have it so that the billboard that we hear just is about to fall down. And billboard about to fall down. Safia wants out. But the spillboard, yeah. But maybe... What can we do? Oh, the billboard's about to fall down on... like somewhere in where when like the whole group, right, because they've got her boxed in between car racers. The billboard's about to fall down. It'll fall down on like someone, right? If I fail my check, it's gonna be her. If I succeed, it's gonna be someone else, and then we'll go on from there. It's gonna be a driving check. I think we're gonna leave it at like something relatively easy because we're just going with the flow. But we do have a -4 because of the smog. So I think we're just gonna keep it at like an everyday one, have it like DV13, but I've got a -4, so it's almost like a DV17 at that point. Again, Land Vehicle Tech, so I've got a +6. Going to roll that. 3 + 6, that's a 9. I needed a 13. The billboard drops on Safia's newly stolen ride. I think that is why she doesn't take part in the race. Because it just falls onto the hood of the car, forcing her to come to a stop. She was not wearing a seatbelt. I think she'll get ejected through the windshield. She wasn't going like 100 miles per hour or anything, but she was definitely going somewhere along, like, 40, 50 miles. This is a street race, yes, but it's a street race in a thick pea soup like smog. No one sees anything. I don't think anyone's driving like 80 miles an hour if they can't see more than like 20 feet ahead of them. Maybe some of them were. That's probably why they weren't in the race anymore. But for the others, there's that. So let's just see, what do we have for vehicle combat when there's a crash? I know the rules for Martian Cowboys when this happens, but let's see how it happens in Cyberpunk. Lost control of the vehicle. Absolutely lost control of the vehicle. Ooh. Whenever you drive a vehicle into something with HP, be it a pedestrian, a piece of cover, or another vehicle, both your vehicle and the pedestrian stay blah blah. And everyone involved in the crash suffer the whiplash critical injury. So let's go and look at what whiplash is. Critical injuries. I guess whiplash is gonna be like a head injury. Yeah. So first of all, we're gonna take some damage. What was your HP? Like 45. We take 5 damage immediately because it's a critical injury. But critical injuries are 5, right? Yeah, 5 damage. It can't be soaked. Whiplash. Wham! Base death save penalty increased by 1. And we need paramedic or surgery to fix or treatment. Okay. It's not fun. Whiplash. Paramedic DV13. And my death save is now a 7. Yeah, so the sign falls onto the car. Sign fell on Saf's car. Whiplash ensues. I think first of all, the car's going to be damaged for sure. Is the car still repairable? That's a question for the Oracle. Close question, Oracle. Ooh, I don't know what the probability would be. Knowing that I failed a roll by 4, which is, you know, kind of 40%. Kind of. I guess I'll leave it to you, chat, because I'm leaning towards likely. Like, the probability the car is broken has to be likely. But do you think it should be certain, or do you think it should be 50-50? I'll leave it up to you. Hey, Jesus. And I'm just gonna take a quick bite. Doing good. Doing well. Having fun with this, what should have been a very simple mission of clipping a car is becoming a bit of a problem. Alright, I'll go with likely. I'll keep it at likely. And, is the car repairable? 59. Yes. Alright. We can repair the car. But I guess that's going to be our next, basically, we're left stranded. Car damage, left stranded. And that would be the end of that beat. Right, the next beat gonna have to be repairing said car. Let's call it Chop Shop. Oh my god, this is taking a turn, right? So, narratively, thanks. It's the overlay, Jesus, is modified version of the overlay I used on High Shelf Collective's Cyberpunk Ascension game, the campaign that I ran over there. I want to say last year? 2 years ago? Might be 2 years ago. So yeah, I just stretched out one of like my own frame and everything. But I really like the red colors and the glows and everything. Feels appropriate for what we're playing. So I'm in the middle of the street. That sign, like she's driving and she's like, oh fuck, fuck, fuck. And then that sign breaks, falls. There's like the whole like the car like stops dead. Safia just goes forward, hits her forehead on the dash, probably like splits her like her head open. I bet she's bleeding. There's like smoke coming out of the engine. It takes her a bit to regain consciousness. Goes, oh, fuck my life. I'm in one piece. Out of character. Thanks, Jesus. Haven't spoken to Cody in a while. I spoke to Mike recently because of the whole Witcher thing, but haven't spoken to Cody in a bit. I'm very eager, or I should say, very yeah, eagerly waiting the Kickstarter for Shadowscar to start. So I'm in one shape. Okay, the car is probably totaled. She glances at the back seat for a second because she thinks, you know, it could be so much simpler to just grab that fucking briefcase and go. And as she looks back, she notices that like one of the back seat was like removed and replaced by like a safe. And she's like, oh, preem. There's no way I can just take that safe out and make a run for it. Gonna have to see what we can do with the car. All right. Steps out of the vehicle. Smoke everywhere. There's no way she sees much. She waits like by, like hugging the chassis, waiting to hear like more cars coming by, but there's nothing in the distance. It was like the sound of people cheering. They were probably close to the end of the race. All right, let's see what we can do here with this car, this broken ass Thornton. So we'll give the car, basically the car's broken, took 6d6 damage. For fun, that would have been, wow, that's a 5. Okay, that's a bit higher. 5 plus 18, that's a 23. So car took 23. Out of 50. Ouch. Yeah, basically half HP. Hey, Sly, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the birthday wishes. All right, we need to repair this thing. It's not going anywhere. Let's see what we can do. We do have like upgrade and field expertise, and I think that's what we're gonna have to use. Where's my techie page? Exec. Netrunner. Techie. There we go. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Field expertise. So I add my ranks. I can also, but it's the jury rigging's gonna last 10 minutes for each rank I have in this specialty. That's like a half hour. I don't think I can go the whole way around Night City in a half hour. That's for sure. we're gonna have to spend an entire beat repairing this. Oh, that's cutting it close. That is cutting it very, very close. All right. Okay, so we get a +3 to our roll because of this. And that's a vehicle tech. Oh, wait, it's even worse. I kept rolling vehicle tech instead of dry vehicle. I would have failed by more earlier, by the way. I would have failed by 4 more. So definitely the car would have had to be damaged. Yeah, there's no way it wouldn't have been. All right, land vehicle tech, I got a +10, +3, so I have a +13. How does car maintenance work here? It's kind of weird because those are like skills I've asked players to do, but never really like looked into. Often enough, it's just like make a roll, and that's how much, like how many HP you regain, or the car would regain, right? Let's see. Pairing. Land vehicle tech. Yeah, the deviant amount of time it takes to repair in perfect condition, based on the amount of damage it has sustained. Page 140. This is a major damage. Oh shit, it takes a day. I can't do that. I can't take a day. She's gonna have to jury rig it and hope she can make it to Watson in a half hour. Let's make the roll and then see what happens and then narrate from there. I got a +13, so technically, with field expertise, there's no way I can... Well, unless I roll a 1, right? There's no way I can fail. I don't think I need to up the DV, because I think it's the same DV. Yeah. All right, so DV 13, I have a +13. Roll, I got a 3, 16. Fine. Car was jury rigged for 30 minutes. So narratively, right, we go back to the scene with a lot of effort. Safia pushes the billboard, like it probably like planted itself like a knife into the car hood. She manages to like push it off. That takes a while already. She pops open the hood and like, chew is leaking everywhere. Coolant fluid has like splashed over. The radiator is busted. There's like a bunch of the straps like are damaged. She's like, okay, I can probably couple that together. There's no way anyone would want this car after this. It just makes a fucking cover story. I hope I don't need to keep that up for long. I hope they just scrap the car after, just chop it for parts or something. All right, so let's go in, and then she starts getting ready. You hear like the sound of her like tech hand, like the drill begin to work. We would see, you know, only like a vague outline through the smog of her being like half in the engine and just like throwing things out one by one as you hear like the sound of like clanking metal and the of a drill and everything. It's just okay. I've got this. I got that. I got it. Okay. All right. Slams the hood shut. Goes back in. Starts the car. Prays and goes like, and it's not wanting to go. And she's like, come on. I just need you to work. I just need you to work. And then the engine finally starts. The car roars to life. It's not a model that roars. It's not supposed to make that sound, and she knows it. But she's like, all right. Inshallah, this is going to work. It's going to hold. And half an hour, I'm in Watson. She looks at her skin watch. And it's like, at this point, it's like 2:30 in the morning. Okay. Can I make it? Think. I'm in University District. Okay, maybe if I don't go through the bridge to Pacifica, I can just make it through the reclamation zone. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to speed through the old combat zone. And I go through Little China, then I go up Westbrook. And then through Kabuki into Watson. And I can get to the bodega in... And I think we're gonna ask, like, the Oracle... Can she... I think right now it's looking at 50-50, right? Can she make it... Actually, no, we'll go with unlikely. Can she make it to Watson in time? 37. No. Just no. Shit. What do I do? Okay. She's just still middle of the road, right? Like, at some point she clues in. I'm just gonna park on the side of the road because I don't want to get rammed by anyone who doesn't see Jack because of the smog. All right. Can't make it to Watson. No way. Fuck. She has an idea. If she can make it to the old combat zone, maybe she can leave the car there. It'll most definitely be like used as target practice, or even just like wrecked by people in the combat zone doing whatever it is that they do, right? So if I do this and I make it there, I can get the safe out. And you know, if the car blows up afterwards, who cares? I get the safe out. And I can probably just like hop in a cab. Right? Maybe like a combat cab. And make it there. Because the car will not make it. Half an hour, get it to the combat zone, that's a possibility. And so on she drives. Right? Let's just make a note of that. So, new plan. In her head, she goes, okay, so make it to combat zone. Leave the car to be wrecked. Maybe wreck it ourselves? Question mark. Get the safe out. Call a cab. Get safe to Watson. Okay, let's hope things work out. I think in this case, the whole caught in a race thing, that was technically not a beat, but like a cliffhanger. Chop chop with a beat. So let's make it so that our number 5 out of 8 is the cliffhanger in the combat zone. Let's call it combat zone. All right, what do we have for cliffhangers? 04. Of course, for fuck's sake. Ambush. Oh, nothing goes well. Alright. Alright. Ambush. Generally, this cliffhanger is much like a battle. Two sides meet and have a fight, but in an ambush, one side always gets a first free shot before its opposition can respond. There are two ways to play this. If the intent is to have the edge runner stage an ambush, that's not the case. Whatever happens after this is up to them, blah, blah, blah. In most cases, when the cliffhanger is played against the edge runner, the opposition drops out of nowhere. The edge runners must make a successful awareness check against their opponent's stealth to know the ambush is coming. So I think what happens is we get to the combat zone just fine. We park the car, get to zone just fine. Park the car, and like, Safia opens the back door, right, and begins to try to get the safe out from the car. Here's how I'll do it. I'll make a roll to see how well she does that job. If I succeed on that roll, then I get to roll awareness to see if the ambush is coming. If I fail on that roll, I can choose to succeed but never notice the ambush. Or I'm going to have to leave it there, roll for the ambush, and see what I can do with the safe later. Let's do it that way. It is definitely something that is hard to get into. Let's go with a little bit higher than professional. Let's go with a DV 18. Because this was, you know, set into a car specifically for the purposes of, you know, customizing this car for, you know, corpo liaison or whatever. And I guess in this case, ooh, that could be a cool... Okay, I'll just start with, like, basic tech to remove it. I have an idea about, like, something else that could happen if things go pear-shaped, but we'll start with, like, basic tech. So, I got a plus 13. I need an 18, so I need a 5 or higher. And I rolled a 2. So, of course, she fails it. I should remember that I have luck. I should use it. Okay, she failed it. I'm gonna leave it for later because I might have an idea for something, the reason why. So, can't get safe out for reasons TBD, but I have maybe an idea that, like, it's not booby trap, but like there's like an alarm that'll ring in if you try to take the safe out, right? And then we have to go into like security tech. So let's roll for the ambush. I think it being a combat zone, it's definitely going to be a group of booster gangers. I think what we're gonna do is we'll have hey, come here. Random tables. Combat zone after midnight. Oh, that might be interesting. Let's see what 64. A mysterious art installation in an alley. That's just background info, like set piece. I think it's like a tarot graffiti. No one knows how it got there. But it shows. Ooh, my tarots. I think it's like the tower. Let's go with like inverted tower. And then let's go with... I'm looking at like the random tables. How many people could there be? Okay, from 1 to 4, or let's say 2 to 5. From 2 to 5 people I rolled a 49, so that would be 3 of them. So 3 booster gangers. 3 gangers show up for the ambush. I'm gonna roll stealth for them. What's their base in stealth? They've got a +7. All right. So I roll a 2 for them, so that's a 9, and I have to roll awareness for me, perception for me. So that's a +11. Ooh, 10. I mean, I guess I would have the -4 because there's still smog. But that's an exploding dice, so 16 + 11, 27, blah, blah, blah. I heard them, right? I hear them coming. And the car is complete crap. I think it doesn't start anymore. Like, it went back to total after the half hour. So she's like half inside the car, right? And just her legs are like poking out. She's like bent over the where the seat used to be and where the safe is now, trying to like cut it out. And she hears them like snickering, like, ah ha ha. That's some nice piece of midnight ass there. And like one of them is probably like twirling a chain. The other one has like one of these like gun marts. What is it? Like a gun mart heavy pistol, and the other one has like rippers out. They're all dressed mostly the same. Do we have like a random gang rollers? I know there's like a ton of gangs in Night City, but that would be another table to have for sure. Bars, hotspots, places. Oh, gangs. Yeah, definitely. 49. 06. 06, it's the albino alligators. Oh, they operate out of Rancho Coronado. Okay, let's see. 60 then. Oh my god, the primetime players. Yeah, of course. Of course, it's like those 3 dudes dressed like members of Happy Days, right? The dude with the chain is like the Fawns, and the other 2 are, I don't know, Mary Tyler Moore and someone else. They look completely out of place here. They probably could never have found like a place outside of the combat zone since. And it's just like, it's the primetime players, right? But it's like primetime with like shitty clothing and costumes. It's just like falling apart at the seams. And I'm wearing like, you know, in this case it's like some sort of like because we said like business wear, I think, something like official. Yeah, with like the leather coat. So definitely they're going to, you know, take everything from me, including my clothes, probably. The car, I don't mind. They could fucking take it if they want. Do I turn this into a social? I don't think so, because it's an ambush. I don't think they would have. They're there to talk. So, what's our win state in this case? I think the win state would be get them all, like, get rid of all of them, kill them, or incapacitate them, all 3 of them. And we have to know our combatants. Are they hardened? I can see their reflex and their dex is no and no, so that's already no. They don't have the cool weapons. They don't have the skills. None of us are hard. But one of us has to make a tactics roll. So they're going to roll tactics. Int +2, D10 +2. They rolled a 3. I rolled a 1 plus my... They also rolled a 1, but that would be tactics. So that would be an 8 for me and a 3 for them, but let's see with like... Let's reverse explode. -3 for me, -10 for them. So I get those 2 rolls. They get 3 rolls. So see, that's where things are going to start to go a bit wrong, because I effectively find myself at a disadvantage. Again, single player encourages you to use the regular like combat rules. We're still gonna go with like hard and fast combat. But what we'll do is, I think if I fail at like step 6.5, she does have the flashbang grenade, and we're gonna have to sacrifice the flashbang to not lose the fight completely. So again, I get 2 roll. They get 1 each, so I'll use 3 for them, 2 for me. And we compare highest to highest, lowest to lowest. So, in her case, by the way, it's going to be, I can't just do evasion all the time, but they do get a free, so they did ambush me. So I guess one of them will get a free hit on her for sure. And then we'll have to do the other ones after. So I've placed my dice, but what I'll do is one of them just like directly. So let's roll a d3. 1, 2, it's the fawns with the chain. 3, 4, Mary with the rippers, and 5, 6, the so like we'll go in like increasing lethality. 4. So basically, I think the person, the Ripper person, right, is the one that crept up on Safia and basically plunged her claws into her back and like dragged her out of the car. I'm just gonna flat out take damage from Rippers. That's it. So it's 2d6, ignoring half my armor. What's an 11? Almost a crit. 11 minus 5. And my SP goes down by 1. So that's a 6 damage. I am now at 34 out of 45. Ah! Safia falls on her back, but like immediately I think is going to kick Mary like at the ankles, try to trip her up. Ouch. I fucking moved I kicked with my head under my desk and I hit the desk leg on my ankle. Anyway, sweep the leg, and then I think immediately as she falls, it'll be like a kick to the head. Just make sure that she's like knocked out. So, I don't know who rolls what in those 3. All right, let me just see. First roll from them, same order. So the first roll for them was the gun, and the second roll was the Rippers. Okay, so it's gun, Ripper, and then I should write it here. That's why I take notes, y'all. That's why I should take notes. So we've got Ripper, gun, and fawns with the chain. Ripper has we'll just mark down like their HP, right? So 20 out of 20, gun 20 out of 20, fawns 20 out of 20. Okay, so the first one who played was, and I think I'll always do it that way. Basically, there we go. So my first roll will always be the gun, the second the Ripper, the third so 7 plus what's their handgun? So that's a 19 on their end. And I guess my role would have had to be, well, it's 2 attacks anyway. Doesn't really matter, but I've got an 18. So that is a fail for Safia. So she's going to take the damage. The second roll, however, I rolled a 6, so that's a 17 for me versus a 4 plus Ripper, that's brawling, so 13. So she gets the third one, the second one, but the third check. So basically I lost both checks out of 5, right? And so she'll take the damage from the chain and the damage from the poor quality pistol. So let's start with poor quality pistol. 1, 2, 2, 3. So that's 7, 8 damage. Not enough to go through the armor. Thankful. And then we'll say that the chain is like a 3d6. 3d6 ignores half armor. So 8, 11. 11 ignores my 5. So... wow. Math is hard. 6 damage more. That goes down by 1. At 6, 34 minus 6, that's 28. Almost seriously wounded. But I do get to attack one person once. So let's just roll my 3d6. 5, 5, 3, 13. 13 minus 4, that's a 9. So Ripper goes down to 11. All right, and they are... I guess they're inexperienced combatant in this case, you know, because they're a poser group. They're in the combat zone, but the way I describe them, I don't think they're like super... they're not well equipped anyway. Their clothes are shit. They don't look like they're the type of people to survive. So for that one person, Ripper person, let's see if they stay in the fight or they run. And that's a 6, so they're going to run. So basically, after she kicked her, Ripper's gonna get up and get the fuck out. However, you know, so going back to how we describe things, Safia feels like the sharp blades lodge themselves in her back, and she's like forcefully dragged out of the car, thrown to the ground. The person with the rippers like straddles her and goes to like swipe at her face, but Safia grabs like the hand and punches her right under the jaw. It sends her like falling back on her back, tumbling backwards. And like I probably like broke a couple teeth, and the thing is because this is a poser gang, right? Appearance is everything. And Mary goes, my teeth! Fuck, I'm not... These cost way too much. I'm not... Ah, shit. And just, like, runs away. Like, she's basically not going to fight. She's not, like, running away for her life, right? But she's, like... She doesn't want to be near the action anymore because I already cost her a lot, right? And she thinks that the Fawns and whatchamacallit is going to handle that. So, however, that happened. Safia was, like, about to get back up, and then bang, got shot. It hit like one of the little like bumps, like half circles, whatever you want to call them. Probably chipped it off because it didn't go through armor. And then as she like stands up, there's like just a whack of the chain that catches her like across the neck. She falls down again. But as she does, like the bag, like her messenger bag opens and the flashbang rolls out. She's like, fuck it. Takes it, primes it, throws it, and it like blows up. There's like the flash of light, the tinnitus, like going in, starting, whatever. And as the two of them are sort of confused, stunned, Safia gets back up and like bum rushes uh, the fawns. And my goal is going to try to get the fawns out, probably so I can take the chain and, you know, do something. So my 2 rolls versus their 2 rolls. Oof. 8 and 2 versus 9 and 7. So 9 with the gun is a 21. I'm gonna use luck because I have to beat a 21 and I've got an 11 and that's a 19. So I'm gonna use 3 out of my 6 luck to make sure that she succeeds on that roll. And then the second roll is them using a melee attack. So plus 11, I rolled a 7, that's an 18. I rolled a 2, so that would be a 13. I don't even have enough. I don't have enough luck to warrant bumping this up. I really should have brought the shotgun with me. But it's 1 for 1, so we'll say ties go to the player because it's my game. I get to choose. And so I haven't lost a fight just yet. I won't have to sacrifice anything, but I might have. I mean, I had to sacrifice half of my luck, so I feel like that's an acceptable thing. And so I get the chain. Let's just do damage for the chain. 9 ignores half my armor. I take 5. I'm at 23. My armor is now down to 8. By the way, Safia's seriously wounded threshold is at 22. I'm at 23. And Safia gets to punch the lights out of the fawns. With a 9 minus, so their armor is 4 because it's a leather jacket. But now it's going to be 3 for him. And that's 5 damage. So let's see if the fawns enjoyed getting punched in the face. I think it's going to be like a kick to the crotch in this case. Just like a good old fucking crotch kick. An experienced combatant, that's a 3. Yeah, he probably like falls down, like doubles over, holds his balls. And Safia picks up the chains. Mind you, I don't have any skills in melee weapon. I don't know what Safia's doing. And we're at the I've beat up, yeah, I said my win state was to beat up all 3 of them. So I have to keep going. Mind you, now it's 2 rolls for me, 1 roll for them. So technically, one way or another, I win this round. But the question is, do I win with a consequence to myself? Alright. So a 6 versus a 5, and then I get a free 3. Yeah, she was going with the chain because she didn't think about it, right? So 6 plus 7, that's a 13. And he fires for a 17. I can't, the first strike is gonna hit me, but the second one is free and it goes in. So let's do damage on him first. Ooh, 662, that is a crit with the chain. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, wait, now we're talking. But it happens after the gunshot, by the way. So that would have ignored half of his armor anyway. So that's 12 minus 2, that's 10. So that brings them down to 10. But it's also a crit. So I need to... Do I have like the... Did I ever make the aids for crits? No, I did not. Ah, shoot. Could have copy-pasted it. Friday Night Firefight. Where are you, crit thing? Come on. By the way, the way that the quick and dirty combat works is it's always on the body. It never does anything else. Unless, like, narratively you want to change things, but whatever. That's a 6 that I rolled. Broken arm. Alright. I don't know if they are going to keep fighting, because they take an extra 5 damage through their armor. And this being broken arm, so an even number, it's the one that was holding the gun. 1. It was the other one. But I get to take 4d6 damage because of this. And almost a crit. 11 plus 4, that's 15. 15 minus my armor, it's an 8. So that becomes a... wait. 11, 15, 15 minus 8, that's 7. I take 7 points of damage. I am now at 16, so she's seriously injured. But that person took a beating, a heavy beating. Let's see if they stay up. The 8. Oh, fuck, I rolled an 8. Does that mean they stay? No. Okay, fight ends in my favor. They're going to run away. I think as they're about to run, she still has the chain, right? And she's like pissed. She's going to probably like yeah, fuck it. I need a weapon of some kind if I'm going to be outside tonight. So I think she's just gonna take the chain and like throw it or like whack it at the person that tries to leave. Drop him down and, you know, try to loot what they have afterwards. We'll see. That would be my melee weapons roll. So 9 plus 7, that's a 16 against their dodge. Oh shit, 10 plus 7, that's a 17. Yeah, no, she throws the chain, but like the guys run away and nothing more happens. She's bloody, beaten. Fucking hell. She looks around, like takes stock of the situation. There's a length of chain. I guess she's gonna take it. It's a 3d6, but it ignores half armor. All right. She turns back to the car. God, I still need to. I can get this taken care of, and that's gonna be our beat. Next beat is we're approaching the end of the night, folks, and this is not looking good. Strip car. Okay, so Safia thinks, and she's like, okay, well, okay, one, I'm gonna search the car like through and through to see if there's not anything that, you know, she could use to patch herself, or help, or what have you. And then she turns back to the safe, and, you know, now realizes that the safe is like rigged with an alarm, and of course it's like some sort of, you know, always online bullshit thing that pings through all the different nodes through the city. So like wherever she is, she's fucked. She can't leave Night City anyway. So we're gonna have to we're gonna have to get through this. And I think instead of rolling for another beat, because we know that this beat is like her trying to get through stuff, but I think what we can do is let's roll a random encounter. Combat zone at night. And we'll see, like, this is something that happens as we're stripping the car, right? 50. A street performer balancing on a makeshift stage, trying to keep the crowd entertained and calm. Oh no, it's after midnight. I'm sorry, it's not night, it's after midnight. 50. A lone figure in the shadows, trying to sneak through the zone. Ooh. Ooh, okay, let's see who this person is, because I might need help, right? That might be something. Okay, who are they? Who are they and why were they looking at me fighting and they never came to help, right? Places to factions, people, combat zone. All right, this person is oh 2d10 and I add them. Okay, 17. A slumming exec. Okay, wait a sec. Slumming exec in the shadows. They are, let's use the like visitors to Night City. No, that doesn't make sense. Okay, let's see, like name wise. Whoops, I got a 3. Oh, Femme 37. Okay. All right. Slumming exec called Hana. And who is, let's check mood, 87, sad, a sad slumming exec. Well, I mean, I guess the role is exec, we don't need to do more than that, right? And D6, 6. Ooh, she is a petrochem production manager. Okay. Okay, yeah. I think my playlist actually ended. Let me just restart it. Mind you, can I just do... Yeah, there we go. It's gonna be a social scene. I think knowing that this person is there, Safia goes, maybe I can get them to help me get the safe out, and worst case scenario, the alarm, the alarm goes off, but it's like her prints on the safe, so I don't have to stay here, and my job is still somewhat safe, right? Social challenge. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's give her an adjective and a verb. 84. Sizzling. Okay, let's invert them. 48. Holographic. Let's see. 40 for the verb. Sizzling or holographic, and then... Fuck. Wow, that's literally the result. Fuck. And 04 is bolt. combat with this jaunty music. Yeah, it's not gonna be combat. Let's go with so I think I have it. It's gonna be whoops, over here. Holographic and fuck. And I think this person is in they're slumming it into they're here in the combat zone because they were looking to buy some like Preem BD and that's where they got like their contact or something. So in a social encounter, we have to establish what does the other person want, right? And I think in this case, it's just they thought they would, you know, sneak out and not be seen, but then they like stopped for a second and watched what was happening. And we'll go with like a 3 check thing. I think what we'll do is 3 checks to try to convince them. The first one is going to just engage them in conversation. Try to make it so that, because they're that exec, right? She doesn't want to be here. She doesn't want to be seen, and we need help. And it's like, look, I don't want to scare her off, right? So we'll start with like conversation, and then I think what we'll do is the next one is going to be persuasion, persuade to help, and the last one is going to be bribery. Right? If all else fails, bribery. Their goal is to vanish without too much fuss. Yeah, basically, it's just they stuck around because they saw the fight happening and they were, you know, curious. I think if you're an executive and you're slumming it, as it were, in the combat zone to get like some like holo porn thing from a dude at a night market, I think you might be the type of person who never actually been in a fight, like a street fight, and so she stayed to watch like the spectacle, right? So let's go with because they are afraid, they don't want to be seen. Let's do a 17 for the first. Actually, I think it's going to be like 17, and then probably 13 for the last one, because it's going to be easier to bribe, but the bribe is going to come at like a cost, right? So let's go with those. All right, so conversation BV17. I have a +7. Oh, fuck. I don't even want to put my luck in there. There's almost no point. Oh, wait, I rolled a 9. That's a 16. I'm gonna spend a point of luck. Okay. Next, persuasion. 17. I have a +10. I rolled a 1, -1, so that's a 9. I don't think she gets the... Okay, and what about bribery? 5 plus my bribery of 6, that's an 11. No, I'll go with a failure. I'll just leave it at a failure. I'm gonna keep my 2 points of luck for later, just in case. But I think basically she approaches the woman and goes, excuse me, I know I look a little worse for wear. my car just broke down, and I can't haul it anywhere, but I need to get something out of the trunk, and it's just so heavy. I can't do it by myself. I thought maybe you could help. And the other person, you know, almost like immediately like clutches the pile of BDs they have in their hands, right? And like steps back in the shadows a bit and just goes, "You've never seen. I'm not here. I don't want to be involved in anything." And Safia goes, "Ma'am, look. Swear to God, this is all legit. I'm not trying to pass one on you. You saw what these guys did to me. They wanted what was my car. I have a big business meeting tomorrow, a big prez. I need to get my docs from out of the safe in the car, but the accident, it messed up the system and I can't get it open." And the one was like, no, don't get me involved into anything. I don't want to be seen. And she starts walking away, and you know, Safia goes, I can pay you. But the woman just keeps walking. So, stuck without help, she goes back to the car, and she's going to search the car first, and then try to do something with the safe, which is going to be our last rules for this specific beat. But I am going to take a quick break. Bio, I will be right back. Wrong overlay for a second. Hey, I'm back. All right. So, we said first of all, we need to search the car. then see what we can do with security tech. And then, you know, do the things. Oh! Hey, Hawkeye! Hello, Raiders! Welcome in. Come in, come in. We are at what appears to be beat 6 out of 8 for my mission. And so far, nothing's been going according to plan. I'm just the unluckiest person. Well, Safia is anyway. So I think our check to loot the car or to search the car is just going to be like like a basic perception check. And then we're gonna go with like the electronic security tech. And I think security definitely is going to be like a DV17. I'm sorry. Like wow, because it's, you know, installed, blah blah blah, professionals. And as for the loot roll, I think for every there's like a random loot generator in there. And I think what I want to do is maybe just get like oh, they're corpse items. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll make like a roll with like a 15. Just like a perception 15. Just to see if there's anything. And then we'll loot whatever it is that the table tells us that there is. Yeah. Got something stuck in the back of my throat. It's the taste of failure. Alright, perception. Plus 11. 9 or 7? 9. 20. Okay, so she'll find something in there. She will find 0, 4. Ooh. She found 2d10 doses of synth coke in baggies. That's a 17. 17 doses found. 17 doses of synth coke. Okay, let's just write that down on our character sheet. Synth coke. Times 17 bags. Great. Absolutely great. Security roll. And I think I have no choice but to spend my luck on that, because I need a 17, and this is a check that I make at fuck, where is it? +8. I would need to roll a 9 or higher. Yeah, I'm gonna put all of my luck in there. So the last 2 points. So I roll at +10. Oh, wait, no, but does... Wait. Does field expertise count in electronic security tech? Because it might. Yeah, electronic security tech. Okay, so I get a +3, +8, so that's a +11. I'll pull in my luck if I fail, or if I'm like close to succeeding. But otherwise, I gotta beat a 17, and I do have a +11. That's a 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a 2. And that's a 13. No way I can beat that with 1. I'll ask the, because I'm wondering, I'll ask the Oracle do we still get the safe out? But it triggers the alarm. God damn it. We get the safe, it triggers the alarm. Or we do not get the safe at all. Right, we're gonna go with a 50-50, and the answer is do we get the safe, but it triggers the alarm? 77. Yeah, 77. Yes, alright. Got the safe out. It pinged an alarm. I'm gonna call a cab. And make it to... try to make it to Watson. And I think that's where we would have, as she gets the safe out, because it would be the perfect moment to have that in, because we're getting near the end. This is gonna be a twist. Because I think maybe the safe doesn't have anything, and maybe Sven either, like, set her up, or maybe it wasn't even the right car to begin with, or something. Right? Plot twist. D100, 43, plot twist. Infrastructure failure. A building collapses, a butthole opens out, or a gas line explodes. What about 34? Oh wow, gig already done. Someone beat the crew to the job. Yes. Yeah. I think we're gonna go with that. So like after all of this, she gets the safe, right? Safe in hand. Hop in cab. Driving to Watson. And like maybe that's the thing, right? The safe got busted pulling it out, and like it opened and she looked inside, and like the documents weren't there. Like someone already took those documents. And I think the reason why is because Sven hired someone else earlier but had no news, so Safia was like plan B, right? Steal the whole car and everything. So that's a twist, which means that I think I'm gonna call the twist "Fuck you, Sven." And then that would be like our climax for this adventure, which, let's see how it ends. We're gonna roll a climax. D10. 4. Final revelation. Page 406. Final revelation. The Edge Runners are gathered together in one place, and like the participants in Agatha Christie novel must decide what is going on and expose the true facts and blah blah blah. Yeah. So that's yeah. Fuck you, Sven. Part 2. So I think, okay, wait, let's roll like, that's the climax. Let's just roll the resolution, see how it is. Antagonist toppled. Yeah, okay, so the person's not gonna have, alright. So, what we're gonna do is, here. So, Safia meets with Sven. Sitch explained. She pissed. Sven got what he wanted. And, hey, Oracle. Let's go with, I don't know Sven. Right? So what I'll do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll roll a d10, a d5, to see what the probability would be of Sven still paying for Safia's services. 8. Unlikely. Okay, cool. So let's see. Will Sven pay me? 56. No, 65. Doesn't matter. Complicated. Okay. Okay. Before I start narrating all of this, we've got something complicated. Which, I mean, I could just fucking beat him up and get the money, but it's not fun. So I think what I'll do is I'll roll a verb, a noun, and an adjective again for like an open-ended question. Right? Because right now I'm just... I don't know. So let's see what gives. 60. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, so payment is complicated. Music is no longer there. Sorry, I just need to make sure that I don't put in something that would... There we go. That would be copyrighted, you know? Okay. Well, well, well. Okay, so what's our first thing for the open-ended question? 28 drive. Okay, let's see. Drive. 99 workshop. Okay. Okay. Drive workshop. 77 rusted. Oh, payment is complicated because he would have given me the car as payment. I think that's what it's going to be. Car was payment. So she finally gets to the bodega, the Big Munch XXL. She's got the safe like open, and like there's another car parked in the parking lot, and that's like Sven in it. And she approaches the car, and he like rolls down the window and goes, "You look like shit. You were just supposed to bring a car, and you're all messed up and coming in a cab. And why is that safe open?" And like she just takes the safe and like slams it on the hood of his car, and like it dents it. She goes, "Your shit's empty. You sent me to steal something that wasn't even there to begin with. Did you know that?" And Sven to answer, "Oh, well, perhaps. This... Let me make a call." Like he takes his phone, calls, starts talking to someone. He's like, "Yeah, you did not provide me with any updates." "Yes, well, I don't care that I told you tomorrow. I would have greatly liked to get the answer the moment you got your hands on the thing. Yes, well, you will have your payment, don't worry. But you just cost me more. That's all. I will review our partnership going forward, but for now, yeah, keep it. I'll be there tomorrow. He hangs up, turns back to Safia. So it appears the other person I hired earlier did actually succeed stealing the docs from my boss's office. So I didn't need you. I mean, I was going to let you keep the car as a payment, but where is it? And like we just cut back to like a street in the combat zone, and the car is now on fire. Like definitely it's on fire. And it's probably like on cinder blocks already too. It's been like 45 minutes, whatever. Well, if we count the number of hours, it's been 2 hours. Yeah, decent. And she's like, does that mean I'm not getting paid? It's like, well, you were paid with the Model 3 interfaces. I don't know what you did with them. This was your repayment to me. And she goes, I no longer want to work with you. Don't call me again. Don't pull any other bullshit again. I almost died tonight for no fucking reason. I'm done. And he goes, look, if I got you a oh, what's the name of that drink? If I got you a Trudy Fizz, like a super large Trudy Fizz, he points at the Potato. With that smooth things out. And there's like something that goes on, like the gears start to run in her mind, and she goes, okay, yeah. I need a drink. After everything tonight, I need a drink. And as he leaves, right? Let's hope we succeed. I'm gonna make a roll. She's gonna hide some of the synth coke in the car. Because she's like, if she's not getting paid, she can maybe rat him out for something, and then get like money, like blackmail him out of it or something. Like get some money. She is beyond pissed right now. So let's go with a conceal object, and I'll oppose it with his perception later. I rolled a 1. -4. That's a 3. So I think she just like tossed like a bag of synth coke in the car. He comes back. Of course, I'm gonna make a roll to see if he sees it, but it's almost sure that he sees it. Well, he rolled a 3, so of course he saw it. And he's like, what is this? You're trying to plant things on me? Because this is not gonna work. But thank you. And he, pops it in his pocket. And he was still holding like to the drink, right? And as he drives off, like goes to drive off, he just like throws the drink in Safia's face because of what she just attempted. And oh, I need the PRB. I guess that's where we end. Safia got Treaty Fizz thrown at her. Failed in attempt to blackmail Sven for payment with drugs. And yeah, I think she's just gonna mope, head back home, and I don't know. We'll see. I have 16 baggies of synth coke that I can sell, which, you know, if it's a how much is it? Like there's black ice or software, cyber stuff, weapons, street drugs, 357. It's 20 eddies. It's just 20 eddies. I guess she can get like 300 eddies for that. It's half her month's rent and stuff. Mind you, if she sells it at half, it's like not even. Poor her. Poor her. I guess I'd have to run more missions to know what happens. And see where we go from there. But after almost 4 hours, well, including character creation was like about an hour of that. That was single player mode for Cyberpunk, and it's interesting. Let's go back here. Hey, it's definitely interesting as far as solo play goes. Like I said earlier when we talked about combat, the 2 times that we got into combat, the game makes mention that you should use like regular combat rules for fights. I dropped a die. For fights against like mid bosses and big bosses, but the way that their quick and dirty rules for combat goes, it's made more with having you play more than one edge runner at a time. Like you were playing some sort of like CRPG, like analog CRPG, which I guess normally is a TTRPG, but like you're by yourself, right? If only because the way the rules work for combat makes it a little bit strange that you immediately lose. Because it's not a question of rounds, it's a question of like winning combat or not winning combat. So I like what I did with my little house rules. I came up with those last night, and I think if I ever play more of this in the future, I'll definitely keep those rules in, because that's something that to me would have made sense to have. I would have preferred if the default assumption of this game was that you're playing by yourself. It's something that I have kind of a gripe with a video game, because to me Cyberpunk is like a team game, right? You're supposed to play with a team. If you've played Phantom Liberty, you get a bit closer to that that feel where most of the time there's an NPC that follows you along, especially like the main quests, right? Whether it's Reed or Myers, or Alex or whatever. I feel like in the video game, I don't like that you can be just about anyone, even though you're solo, but you can also be a netrunner. But nothing else much. And then you look at like the NPCs that are with you, around you, like Carrie Eurodyne is clearly a rocker boy. River Ward is a lawman. Judy is a techie. Panam is a nomad. Jackie would have been a solo, and T-Bug would have been your netrunner. Like, you've got all of them, right? Except an exec, I guess, and a medtech. And I feel like I would have liked the video game to include more people, maybe to have, like, you know, your skill tree be separated by, like, people that are with you, or like that you can call upon, so that all of your hacking is not done by you but done through like your netrunner, and stuff like that. Might have been too disruptive. But then I look at single player mode and I'm like, I wish single player mode was actually closer to the video game, where it's made first and foremost with the assumption that you are a single person in this crew. You're not a crew, you're like a regular person, and that you might have allies and stuff that add on over time. Like, I like the rule that says that you should and you can multi-class without spending any IP if you want, so you can have like net running skills without being like, well, I have to pay like 100 IP to just go level 1 net runner after character creation. There's a lot of random tables, 70 pages of random tables. I love that. Mind you, tonight there's like 1 or 2 cases where I was like, oh, I wish there was, but there was something like analogous, close, that we could use. Particularly enjoyed like the way the Oracle works for like open-ended question, closed questions. Basically, like, I had a good time playing the game, for sure. I'm still a bit more of a Starforged, Ironsworn person myself as far as like solo games go. But like, this is, well, like I said at the start, right? Just for the random tables, I would get it as a GM, because, well, I personally love random tables, but also because there's like a lot of them that give like more flavor and such into the world, and it can be fun sometime to just not be the one that come up with, you know, places, names, things, smells, sounds, whatever. Oh, we were missing a random table on car types and models and names and such. There are empty tables in the book, by the way, if you get it like either as a PDF. Mind you, as a PDF, it's not form fillable, but as a book, you can just write in it and have a bunch of like, how many tables? There's 20 more random tables at the end that are empty, and they all vary in how many things are available. It's not 20, I'm sorry, it's 18 random tables. So like, it starts with like a random table that has like a 33% chance of landing on a result. So it's like you roll a d3, right? The other one's like rolling a d4, right? Another one's like rolling a d5, and then you got rolling a d6, rolling a d8. There's also a d7. So it and they show you like the percentile, the percentage chances of like getting like a certain result. So you could write on those things. So I could definitely see me like take like, for instance, the one that's got like 13 results, and write down a bunch of different car model like makes and models, and the most common ones would be the ones that you have like the most chances of rolling on there. They also have a bunch of blank forms, which I didn't use them because I use like Figma, but to be fair, they're like really well done. There's like for NPCs, you've got like a bunch of them that are cue card size, which, and it's not like the NPC stat block from like the main book, right? It's more like here's a couple of skills that they might have. Like, do they have a weapon? But then the rest is like, what do they look like? What do they do? What's a quirk? What are their like best bases? Then they have like more complex NPC sheets. They have play clocks. They've got like a more in-depth investigation tracker, social challenge tracker. It's like, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it to get the book. That is that's for sure. Will I play again? Probably. I'm gonna save everything that we have for Safia. I just don't have the time right now to stream like another game and all that. But if it wasn't for the fact that I haven't eaten anything since 3 p.m. this afternoon, except like munching on like some cereal and drinking water, I would keep on playing. I would probably do another mission. But I gotta go make food before I pass out, and then work on my upcoming stream, because yeah, I'm coming back to streaming weekly starting next week. Next Thursday is going to be the premiere, so on October 2nd, before Critical Role. So we're starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you want to drop in before everyone leaves for the premiere of Campaign 4. But October 2nd at 8 p.m. is going to be the premiere of a new Witcher campaign on here called Iron Judgment. And it takes place in, well, the Iron Judgment, which is a time period that takes place after the games. That is technically dependent on what you did in the games. And yeah, basically bringing you a whole new cast of people that I never got to play Witcher with on stream. So that's going to be interesting. And they have very interesting characters that you'll get to discover. Yeah, so that will be every Thursday, starting on the 2nd. This is another long-running campaign. We're gonna come back with like the World of Darkness stuff later, of course. And then also, I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about it, but like, I'm going to be live next Wednesday for something. That's all I can say. And by next Wednesday, I mean not this upcoming Wednesday, the 24th, but like the 1st of October. But then I'll be back for something else. I think yeah, I'll be back for something else. Something secret. That will be revealed soonish, I guess. But on that note, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you for hanging out during that birthday stream. 4 hours. And thank you for yeah, like participating, chatting. I saw your discussions. I was just like deep in playing the game, so I didn't really yammer on Witcher and stuff. But yeah, so I guess I'll see everyone later. Let's go check if someone's... Is anyone online right now? And who could we... Wow, I should have muted that tab. Who do we have? Oh, Prax is online. Wasn't she in chat? Like 2 seconds ago? Well, anyway, let's go and raid Prax. Oh. Yes, okay. Having trouble trying to make sure that if I write, I typo, I no longer word good, written or spoken, I guess. So I will see you all next week, everyone. Take care, stay safe, bye-bye.